Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Kindly subscribe to our channel if you are watching for the first time and click the notification bell. You can also like our videos and share them. To all those who support our channel, I would like to say thank you very much. I have always maintained on this channel that our country is being governed from Washington, D.C. I maintain, many people think that I'm just talking. But trust me, our country is being governed from Washington, D.C. because all the offices that issue instructions are based there. The IMF, World Bank, the US President. In fact, the branch, the nearest branch that house the leaders that govern us is the US office in Kenya, the ambassador's office. Now the branch manager here is Meg Whitman. Whenever I talk about the USA, my heart is pained because I'm not only looking at Kenya, but I'm looking at Africa as a whole. And I see the way African leaders have compromised our value systems and the social fabric and family ties that unite us together. And we have sold our continent to the West. Many people criticize me. But today, one of the most vocal Kenya Kwanza leaders concur with me. And it is a case of laughing when your neighbor has a problem. And when the problem knocks at your door, then your eyes open and you realize that it is painful. Where I come from, people say that when there is a funeral at your neighbor's home, you can always say that let me eat first and find out why they are wailing and mourning in the neighbor's house. But when it befalls you in your house, you will never have the strength to eat. It is an analogy that is used to demonstrate that when the problem now comes in your home, that is when your eyes open. So today, Jicho Pevu, Mohamed Ali, who is one of the very few Kenya Kwanza leaders in the coast, delve in the matter of the LGBTQ, because you all know that one of the culture and tradition that is being forced down our throat as Africans is the issue of LGBTQ. And the Western masters have pegged it on aid that they give to Africa. So that if you refuse, then you don't get the aid. And our country has swallowed it. Not only that, very many other things that are being issued to us from Washington, D.C. So Mohamed Ali was delving in the ruling that was given the other day by the Apex Court. And by the way, let me tell you, one of the things that the West will do is that they will ensure that they capture institutions that govern our country. The IEBC, the courts, and the executive, because they understand so well that it is an intertwined government. So that when you have a problem, you will run to the courts. And so the first thing that they do is that they pocket the courts. So there was an earlier ruling that gave the same-sex marriage, the LGBTQ community, the right and the freedom of association. Apparently, they had been even denied the privilege of registering their association. And when the Supreme Court allowed them to do that, Opondo Kaluma is one of the ODM members went to the same court to challenge this decision, and he was ruled null and void. And this has really vexed very many leaders in Kenya. So Muhammad Ali is one of them. And this is what he wrote, and I want to read very fast because I want us to understand that even though we pretend that we don't know what is happening, the very, very Kenya Kwanza team understand exactly what is happening. It is only that they have buried their heads in the sand like the proverbial ostrich, and they want to live in denial, something that is very, very dangerous for our society. But I like the fact that they are beginning to talk. Very fast, Muhammad Ali said this, and if you go to his Twitter handle, you will see this. There is great wisdom in what God has commanded and what he has forbidden. In light of the Supreme Court's decision to allow the registration of LGBTQ organizations in Kenya, I must say that we are sadly witnessing the beginning of the erosion of family and moral foundations in Kenya society, and weakening the moral compass and our intrinsic values as a godly nation. Sections 162A and C and 163 and 165 of our penal code criminalizes homosexuality, and so do our faith values, which we must not move away from, for we risk disintegrating our core family structures and falling deep into irredeemable mistakes that will cost us and the generations to come. I strongly condemn the Supreme Court's ruling and will stand by the people of Kenya to protect our values, traditions, religion, and laws that will not be dictated by foreign players. And foreign players is written there in caps, in capital letters, meaning Muhammad Ali wants to emphasize on the fact that the author and the finishers of our problem are the West. Like I told you, when he talks of foreign masters, if you confront him, he will tell you that number one is the US and number two is the UK and all those people. And so he's emphasizing. And he says, as I conclude his statement, where faith's decree is strong and clear, no moral soul should interfere. What faith deems as true and just, no human judgment should ever adjust. And so he concludes. Ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad Ali is saying that he strongly condemns Supreme Court's ruling and he will stand by the people of Kenya. And I want us to look at that statement, I will stand by the people of Kenya. Standing by the people of Kenya begins by opening the server to understand who won the elections, because we have a government that does not care about his or her people. You see, we will mention it for the millionth time that the leaders who support William Ruto must support him in his entirety. And when you want to condemn LGBTQ, please understand that LGBTQ is just part, a tip of an iceberg of the whole structure that has been given to us by the West. GMO is part of it. LGBTQ is part of it. Removal of subsidies that were cushioning Kenyans from the high cost of living is part of it. High taxes is part and a parcel of this thing. And when you feel that we are really encouraging moral degradation, it is the president that you serve. If we want to condemn, we have to condemn the whole thing. But if you want to support William Ruto, support him. When we make a lot of noise, it is because of our society. I remember when William Ruto was, when the former president Uhuru Kenyatta was confronted by this very fact by a manpo, I don't know that I pronounce it well, the one of the senior CNN reporters, who knows how to extract information from our leaders. And he was pegging this thing on a human right basis. And I like what Uhuru Kenyatta said. Uhuru said that this is not a human rights issue. It is a societal problem. So that when Kenyans feel that it is time to entrench it into the constitution, they will speak. And he said, as at now, we've got even more bigger fishes to fry. Unemployment and drought and high cost of living. And so we cannot delve into a non-issue. And I remember even confronted Obama. When Obama came here, he came with that issue. But Uhuru did not listen to him and did not spare him. If you want to know that this is a Western issue, immediately an African president is elected, you will see this kind of question coming up. Someone is telling me that this is a new world order. There is a spirit that controls the world, but that is a bit spiritual and I won't go to it. Let us stay with our traditions. We are losing our nation to the West. The other day, you all know that Yoweri Kaguta Museveni stood his grounds and said that he cannot sell his country to the West. I'm not saying that Kaguta Museveni is perfect. He is never impeccable. In fact, there are certain things that he does that I don't like he does not respect democracy. He really beats his opposition leaders. But on this, I want to stand with him, and if there is one thing that I can emulate from Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, it is this, standing with these people. In our country, the dalliance between our president and the Western powers is so much deep that our president does not care about us. Let us not condemn the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court is just a dog that is barking. Let us go straight to the owner of the dog. Let us not beat around the bush that you are trying to, to criticize, the president of the Supreme Court. You know what it means. This is someone's dog barking. And so, ladies and gentlemen, in Kenya we say, Kimewaramba, like itaendelea kuwaramba.